Hey everyone, I hope this video finds you well and staying healthy. So this is going to be a quick targeted video focusing a little bit on Google Classroom as I'm getting a lot of emails asking questions about some of the activities on Google Classroom itself. So I'm going to dive right in. Google Classroom is pretty familiar with us and to us, so this should be pretty straightforward. So I'm going to click on one class as an example. First piece of advice as we are moving forward here is to ignore the stream. The stream can become very confusing as to when assignments are due, when they are assigned, and as to what they pertain to. So therefore, I suggest that you focus more on classwork. The classwork tab keeps your assignments organized based off a topic that I assign them. So I'm going to focus on Bellringers because that seems to be the activity that has the most questions surrounding it. It is pretty straightforward. I'm just going to clarify exactly what to expect with it. So Bellringers are questions. They're very broad and generic that are around the idea of the book Wonder, but are pertaining to you and your life. So everybody's response is going to be very individualized. So therefore, to encourage conversation and discussion, what I am asking you to do in addition to your own response is to respond or comment to two other peers. So that's going to look like you clicking on a classmate's post and then you comment on that post, very similar to what you would do on social media. You're going to do this 2 times, one for one peer, right? So it's one post or one comment per peer, and you do that 2 times. So they're pretty straightforward. The purpose of them is to encourage conversation and discussion. It's actually what we call discussion forums. That's the technical term for it. And that is the extension of the expectation for Bellringers. I'm going to delve into some of the items that have been assigned on Google Classroom. So there are quick writes as well. Quick writes are targeted questions based off the text that we are reading. And the text that we will be reading Q4 is Wonder. So these are text-specific questions. So you will only be able to answer these if you have read or are reading Wonder. Movie doesn't count because movie is different than the actual book. So with answering these questions, there's the extension of using textual evidence. So what I mean by that is when you respond, when you answer your question, you're going to extend your answer to include evidence from the text to support it. So that's going to look very similar to what we've done in the previous quarters. It is going to provide, you are going to provide a lead-in, which sounds similar to like this book stated or the author explains. And then you put a comma, upon which you provide a quote, a paraphrase, or a summary of evidence from the actual text that supports your answer. After that quote, paraphrase, or summary, in parentheses, you are going to put the author's last name and the page number that you found that evidence. I have an example in the description or instructions for the quick writes, and they're pretty self-explanatory. Lastly are the lessons. So I have assigned 2 lessons. I'm going to put a pause on the lessons for the future until we get a solid mandate or direction from the district. So right now there are 2. As you see, I have 2 more prepared, but those are going to stay as drafts until I'm told otherwise by the district. So feel free to do the first 2 lessons. They are pretty straightforward. They're introductory. They're basically what to do before we start reading the book and before we start diving into the narrative writing standard this quarter. Both are very easily done at home if you have internet access. My plan is, once we get word from district, is to hopefully push these out. Also, paper-wise, that way if you don't have strong internet support, that you can do it in a handbook as well. So what's great about these is they are assigned, but 2, they have the actual activity already copied for you. So that means I have directed Google Classroom to automatically make you a copy of that assignment. So all you have to do is actually click on the attachment. It opens it up. It should say your first and last name in the top right corner, and you should be ready to go. And they are designed, I've intensely modified these so you can easily just go in, type in your response where underneath where it says your response for each question. So all you gotta do is click in that box and you start typing. It's pretty straightforward. Once you are done, you head back to Google Classroom, and then all you should be needing to do is click turn in, I believe, in the top right corner of the assignment, and then it's turned in. Straightforward, to the point. It's going to allow us to start delving into the concepts that we would be discussing in quarter 4. But again, until we hear otherwise, I'm going to put a pause on those assignments, but hopefully we can get the ball rolling with our education for quarter 4. So this is a basic explanation of some of what you're seeing on Google Classroom right now, and I'm receiving a lot of emails with questions, so I thought I'd do a how-to or an instructional video to kind of blanket the explanation for everybody. So if you have any more questions, feel free to email me. Very reachable through email. I work hard on making sure I respond to you in a timely manner, typically in 24 hours. So miss you guys. Hope everyone's doing well, and I'll talk to you soon.